Ooh, that video didn't start out right, but who cares? I'll just stop it, rewind it, and do my thing just like I said I was gonna did. We're gonna buck you up on this day, the big game. I'm starting this whole video over because this sucks. No, I'm not. Who cares? All my intros suck. Navajo, police is hoes. Just happen to be in front of Navajo. This rap sucks, but who really cares? Just leave your comments on how it's so cringy in the comments. Because that's what I want to hear, how cringy my intros are, as if I don't know. YouTube won't let me use music. Tampa Bay, we're gonna buck you up. Tampa Bay, we're gonna buck you up. Anyway, Super Bowl. Damn it. The big game. Today's the big game. I'm rooting for Tampa. I live north of Tampa. We got Brady. It's a Cinderella story. Go Bucks. There's that. Last night I went to work the camera at the Junior Hockey League, the USPHL Hockey League. And I went to the wrong booth by accident, but coming out of the booth, there's a gentleman named Phil Esposito. Didn't know who he was. Somebody asked me to take a picture of him and Phil. So I did. I said, "Oh, you a player?" He's like, "This is Phil Esposito." I go, "I don't know who that is." I didn't say that. I said, "Oh, okay." He's like, top 10 scorer of all time. I go, "Oh, in that case, let me get a selfie too." So he took a picture of us. I posted it on the thing. Got to meet a Hall of Famer. A little starstruck, just knowing, the guy's had a legendary career, Canadian, New Yorker, broadcaster, etc., etc. Plus his statue's the one in front of Amalie Arena. And he told me, like, that's me and the statue. That's where all the birds eat and poop. So he had a great sense of humor. Kind of reminded me of me, the hockey version. I told him, "Hey, I see you engage in slap shot comedy." He liked that a lot. He's let me date his daughter. But anyway, moving forward, here is Stray Dog, the Exposer. I'm just going to cover this part of the video. And then this video is 1 hour and 38 minutes long. I'm going to link it to you in the description. It's beautiful outside. It's got to be 70 degrees. Absolutely beautiful outside. It's going to be an amazing game. I look forward to watching it and eating lots of stuff I shouldn't eat. I look forward to that anytime. It doesn't have to be big game Sunday. Anyway, Stray Dog the Exposer is filming in public. Okay? Security of this Navajo refinery doesn't like it. So they tell him you can't film because they put up signs that say no photography, but they're meaningless. They have no penal code. They're not law. This is how we feel, so we're going to put up signs telling you how we feel. They mean nothing as far as legality goes. He's in public the whole time. So they get butthurt, of course, and they call the police because that's what butthurt Karens do that don't like freedom and understand the Bill of Rights and freedom and American core principles. So they call the police show up, and this is where the video starts. First, it's a lady. First thing they try to get him to do is ID. I'm going to be pausing. If you don't like it, go watch the original. Link will be in the description. And it's worth the whole 1 hour and 40 minutes. You're going to hear all the cops explaining in the courtroom from the prosecutor, and the cop tries to make him look like, "Oh, he's just doing his duties." They charged him with like 5 different crimes that didn't even matter, didn't even pertain. And it's a great ending to a great story. So here we go.
Hi. Can I get your name and badge number? Did you make it fucking Sanchez?
No, it's our teacher police department.
Your badge number or ID number?
Unit 725.
I know. Thank you.
What can I help you with out here?
I don't need no help. I'm just doing a story, and I've been on public easement the whole time. Never crossed onto their property.
Okay.
So.
Well, can I see your ID?
No, ma'am.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you haven't been doing anything illegal? I haven't seen you do anything illegal? No one really told her he's doing anything illegal. But the first thing that she wants him to do is surrender his Fourth Amendment right to privacy. That's what they're telling you when they ask you for ID. Would you mind surrendering your right to privacy?
I need your ID.
I'm not going to break the law.
Called?
It don't matter.
I need to identify you.
There we go. Bad cops. Another thing bad cops say, we got a call. You got a call doesn't mean we have to surrender our Fourth Amendment right. Silly costumed piglet.
I'm not going to put this.
Well, you're not going to put my name because I'm not giving it to you. I have to have broken the law before I have to turn over all that information. Okay. If you articulate...
Okay, you're one of those people that know the law. Damn it. Got another one.
I That's fine. You can be called. You can investigate, but I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to surrender my rights just because you showed up. I have to. You're asking for my ID.
Again, there's a disconnect. Yes, you are. When you ask somebody to reveal their private information, you're asking them to surrender their Fourth Amendment right to privacy. Do you understand that? You're a police officer. You're a law enforcement. That is the law. How stupid are American cops? And they're trained to be ignorant. They don't want cops to know people's rights and uphold people's rights. They want people in cages. They want people arrested. They want them. They want stats. They want them in jails. They want them in cells. That's what earns the state money. Upholding people's rights and solving rapes, murders, and robberies and beatings, that doesn't earn them money. That actually costs money to do those things. What they're interested in is putting people in cages and earning money. That's it. That's why they're trained to just find out who you are, find out if you have warrants, and the best way to get you out of doing something perfectly lawful is if you have a warrant or a parking ticket. That way they could snatch you up. This is common tactic nationwide.
That would be surrendering my fourth.
Well, you identified me, so I'd like
Well,
to.
you're.
Another thing bad cops say, well, I identified myself. Okay. No, you're a public servant. That's why your name's on your uniform. You have to ID. You're armed. Don't be a moron. She's already said the two things bad cops say, or should I say bad sovereign cops, sovereign citizens.
Public servant. There's a difference. I'm not. I'm a free citizen.
So what is it that you're doing out here exactly?
What does it look like? I'm filming. That's it. Promise. There's
Okay, we're going to turn that into 5 crimes. You watch.
thousands of cameras everywhere.
Except Navajo.
You don't have a body camera on?
Navajo specifically.
Navajo, I am not working for Navajo. I'm not on their property. That is the only time that their rules apply.
All over their property.
It don't matter.
It shows that they don't
Yes,
allow
on their property.
videotaping.
There's no penal code at the bottom of the do not allow camera record signs, meaning it's not a law. It is their policy. Their policies don't apply to me. Only if I'm on their property, then I become subject to their laws and their policies. While I'm on public property, I'm a free citizen. I can record anything that my eyes can see. Can't
Isn't that amazing that cops cannot accept that logic that they swore to protect?
pass my eyes.
I'm not
And this
saying
DHS memo sent out in 2010 to all the installations and revised in 2017 that we have permission to record police, any government officials in the course of their duty. It doesn't matter. If I can see it, see how I can see it from my eyes, I can't get in trouble for that. If it's viewable, if they want, they can build a 30-foot wall, and then I can't see it. But until then, I'm allowed to video anything.
What kind of movie are you making? Your documentary?
I'm
None of your business.
gathering content for matters of interest to the public.
You're gathering content for matters of interest.
Remember, the reason auditors say matters of public interest is because there's an actual law that says you're allowed to film for matters of public interest. That's why they use them words specifically.
Yeah, that's all it is. I'm not going on the property. I know my boundaries. I do this for a living. I know the law. I might not know all the laws, but I know these laws specifically.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I'm just curious.
Well,
You're
this is one thing. You know,
just making documentaries?
I do a lot of stuff. It just depends what I feel like and who's gonna pick it up, who's gonna buy it, or if I'm just gonna post it or whatever. You know, I don't work for nobody specifically. I'm an independent journalist gathering content for a story. That's all. That's all I'm doing. I've never.
Using to identify yourself.
You know,
Okay, so here comes Mr. Tough Guy Moron, who trumps up the charges and wastes 5 or 6 different people's times, plus a judge, plus all taxpayers' money trying to prosecute a non-crime. This guy's doing absolutely nothing illegal. These cops have zero jurisdiction, so they just force themselves on him like a rapist and charge him with 5 different crimes because they don't want him there, because they're bothered, because their feelings are hurt. They don't act within the bounds of the law. As you're going to see, first thing out of her mouth is he doesn't want to ID, and right away he's right, oh, we can put him in a cage for that. Not one of them did any investigation into any crime whatsoever. Not one. And all this is brought up in court. I'm telling you, this video is worth watching.
I have to be committing a crime to give ID. Yes, sir. Yes, I do.
Right away, that is true. That's Terry v. Ohio, and that's pretty much every state law. And right away, this moron comes, no, sir, no, sir, no, sir.
Yes, I do want to bet. Yes, sir. You have to articulate a crime that I.
So he wants to bet. Let us know how that goes in court for you. Nice fupa.
either committed, I'm committed, or I'm about to commit. You want to bet?
This guy is a moron. He literally just quoted Terry v. Ohio, and this cop said, no, sir, no, sir, no, sir. He just quoted you the law verbatim, moron. How are you going to sit there and say no, sir? You're a moron.
All right, we better call your supervisor.
And he makes when the lawyer cross-examines this piece of garbage in court, he makes an absolute fool of him.
If you do something stupid, okay. Call your supervisor. I don't matter. You can call.
There we go. Things bad cops say. We got a call here. That means all your Bill of Rights are null and void at this point.
You can come and you can come investigate.
You are the suspect that you're called here to deal with. Therefore, you are required.
No, I'm not. Suspicion isn't a crime. Suspicion isn't a crime. It's not a felony or a misdemeanor. Yes, it is. Yes, it does.
You just said it doesn't matter whether it's a crime. Does any cop know the ID law? The law they use the most to carry out their unconstitutional laws and tyranny, the ID law, which is solely based on the Fourth Amendment right to privacy. Not one cop, almost zero cops understand the Fourth Amendment or ID laws, or understand when they ask somebody to show ID when they don't have to, that it's a violation of their Fourth Amendment. And they're doing it with a gun on their side. These are dangerous people in America, the most dangerous people in America.
That is the law. You have to articulate a crime I've committed, a crime I am committing, or no, I'm not.
Is failure to identify.
No.
There we go. Another thing bad cops say: failure to ID is the crime you're committing. Failure to ID is only after you've already committed an initial offense. It's a secondary crime. You first have to commit an initial offense: trespass, obstruction, damage, vandalism. Then, if you don't ID, then it's failure to ID. It's not a primary charge. Again, most cops think this because most cops are stupid people. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be as calm as I can because I got a copyright strike and I don't want to do excessive insults. But I'm just calling it how it is. This cop has zero clue. He's been on the force 5 years and the lady's been on the force 9 years. And they have zero clue about how the law works. Zero.
No, that can't be the first crime unless I've committed one. Then you can get me for failure.
Again, no, sir. He has no clue what the law is. No clue whatsoever.
Until then, just for me walking on the sidewalk is not permissible for me to give you ID. Okay. I don't have to give nothing unless I've committed a crime.
So now she finally, and this is brought up in court, she finally decides to walk over and do an actual investigation and do some police work instead of just running this guy's ID, wasting his time, holding him detained for no crime, and then hoping and praying that he's got some kind of warrant or they could stick something on him. This cop gets so butthurt that he doesn't know the law and he's being challenged that the only option left for him in his small little brain is to use violence against this man and put him in a cage because he's never read a law in his life.
Go back and read up the law. I can feel them all out.
So he just pointed at a sign that says no photography. This is brought up in court too. It's meaningless.
Come on, look, all of it, everything. It don't matter if it's posted. That's not the law. Do you see a penal code under the sign? No. If it was a law, there would be a penal code. I'm not on their property. Those laws, those rules don't apply to me unless I'm on their property. I'm on public access. That means I'm a free citizen. It does matter.
It doesn't matter if you're in public. Again, no cops understand the difference between public and private property. And every moron cop you'll see uses a stupid analogy. What if someone went to your house? This is not your house. This is private, but he's not on their property. So anyone can come to my house and stand in the street in front of my house. I can't do anything about it. Moron. How do you guys like my calm demeanor?
If you don't know the law, you got that badge and that gun, but you don't even know. How are you gonna enforce something when you don't even know? I'm not giving you my ID.
All right, turn around, put your place back.
All right, time to put you in a cage. That's the only option left here. Since I don't know any laws, I've misquoted every law. This guy's told the cop the law verbatim, and it all comes out in court. And look how willing this stupid, butthurt cop is to put this guy in a cage because the cop doesn't know the law. So here, he's claiming he's arresting him for failure to ID, and then he doesn't even charge him with that. And then he charges him with disorderly, prowling, stalking, and like 2 or 3 other ridiculous charges. Ridiculous. Because he's a butthurt loser who doesn't know how to speak to women, has a small wiener, and cannot understand anything but you do what I say, even though it's completely false, or I use violence against you.
Here we go, guys. Put this here so I can.
All right, here comes Dummy running over to help him, and the defense attorney starts cross-examining her as an adverse witness, and the prosecutor objects, saying she's not an adverse witness. So immediately the defense attorney says, "Did you say, hey, stop falsely arresting that man?" And she says, "No." And then the defense lawyer says, "Oh, she's an adverse witness." And the judge says, "Yep, she's an adverse witness." So again, you can learn a lot from this defense lawyer, and you can also learn a lot about how the prosecutors in this country waste money, are the most crooked pieces of crap, and have committed and ruined millions of people's lives throughout the years and decades. It's time to prosecute prosecutors. It's time to prosecute judges. I know that's a hot take for some reason, but hey, when you don't, this is what happens. So please watch the whole thing. It's a long time, but take a massive dump, eat a lot of cheese, and your butt cheeks will be numb after an hour and 40 minutes. But you know what I'm saying. So they arrest him for literally breaking no law. And there you go. All right, thanks for watching. Check out John's Coin Rings. I doubt YouTube will let me monetize this because YouTube doesn't like honesty for some reason. At least they don't like my opinion. Let's just put it that way, which I believe is honest. All right, everyone, have a good day. John's Coin Rings. Check out the link in the description. Watch this whole court case. It is fantástico, estupendous, estupendo. Okay, bye-bye.